do what thou wilt. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 17 of 7 Minutes with the Magus, featuring your host, Omega Logion, Magus of the Eon of Maat. In this episode, we're going to talk about the Minchiate Tarot. The Minchiate was invented in 15th century Florence, Italy. It's an expanded tarot. Instead of the normal 78 cards, it has 97 cards. And 97 is the gematria of the name Amun. We are going to adopt this as the Tarot of Amun for the Eon of Maat. Now, the designer of this tarot adapted the regular 78 cards in the following way. He removed the Priestess card, which in the early decks was also called the Popess, or female pope. Now, naturally, the idea that the pope could be a woman was rather heretical, so she was conveniently removed, and then 20 cards were added to the 77 cards. Those cards were 12 cards for the zodiac signs, 4 cards for the elements of fire, water, air, and earth, and 4 virtues: faith, hope, love, and prudence, which seem to have been missing from the virtues of the regular tarot. Now, a lot of people think that the Priestess card already represented faith, so it's possible the designer felt the same way and just conveniently renamed her and didn't actually get rid of her. But in any event, they added 20 cards in a block near the end of the sequence of the major arcana. This resulted in 41 major cards and 56 minor cards. One of those majors is the Fool. He's not actually a major card. He doesn't have a number, and he's really called the Excuse, because you can play that card instead of a more valuable card and kind of get through your turn. Nevertheless, we've got 1 and 40 and 56. Now, the 41 equals the Hebrew letters Aleph plus Mem, and the 56 equals the Hebrew letters Vav and Nun. Put those together and you spell the name Amun. So even the distribution of how many cards are in each category aligns with the name of the King of the Gods. Now, one of the ways that we can use this deck is to align it with the 97 verses of Liber LUXORAT, which follow the first verse, which is just a single word, unity. You could also line them up with all of the verses of Crowley's Liber ARARITA after the first verse, which essentially says that God is one. When you do it that way, then anytime you pull a card, it can be associated with that verse, giving more depth and complexity to the reading. Now, just like Crowley took the names of the virtues in the Tarot of Marseille and changed them from strength and justice and temperance to lust and adjustment and art, so we are also going to change the names of these additional cards. The virtues are going to change from faith, going back to being the priestess, hope, aspiration, love, dissolution, and prudence, providence. When we do that, the English names of the 97 cards total 97 times 97. And if you recall, 97 times 97 is the differential of the sum of all of the trigrams in Liber LUXORAT when you run the planetary trigrams through all the numbers from 0 to 13. So this creates yet another connection to Liber LUXORAT. Also, the 97 cards become our new template of categories to which we can associate various esoteric ideas and principles. One really good example of that is the 16 additional cards that aren't virtues. You've got 12 zodiac signs and 4 elements. Those 16 can be attributed to the 16 figures of geomancy. Now, the geomantic figures are either 1 or 2 dots in a set of 4 lines. There are 16 of them. They are directly connected to the I Ching in the sense that if you take the 64 I Ching hexagrams and you just remove the top and bottom lines, the central 4 lines are tetragrams, and there are 16 possible arrangements of them. Well, 16 is also 2 times the 4th power. If we remove 16 cards from our deck, we have 81 cards left. That's 3 to the 4th power. 81 is the number of lines in Liber Trigrammaton. There are 27 trigrams, 3 lines apiece, giving you 81 lines. 81 is also the possible number of outcomes when you create numbers using Tao, Yang, and Yin. Just like 16 is the number of possible outcomes when you throw an I Ching line based on Yang and Yin. And so here's the very interesting thing. 81 and 16 not only make up this number 97, but they are the image of the hexagram of 97. The upper trigram has a value of 81. The lower trigram has a value of 16. Together they make 97. So we see that the name Amun and the number of cards in the deck represents a combination of the magic of the I Ching and the binary with the mysticism of Amun and the ternary. So the Tarot of Amun is going to be a template that we associate things with going forward. And I'll be referring to it many times in future episodes. This is your introduction to that. I hope you find that really fascinating, and I hope you'll come back for future episodes when we talk about other fascinating topics. In the meantime, don't forget, love is the law.